How do you take action when you are scared? If you're like me and like most human beings, you are scared many times. But as business owners, we have to learn the skill of taking action even when we are scared. And so today I'm going to share with you some tools I use with my clients and even with myself to help me take action in a consistent way. Now, if you're new here, hello. If we haven't met, my name is Joy Rowland. I am a success coach. Specifically, I help women reset their brains so that they can take action in a more consistent way, even when they are scared. So if you are catching the replay, hashtag replay, if you are here live, say hello. I want to say hello to you. Fear isn't a sign that something is wrong with you. It's simply your brain trying to keep you safe. Now, if you are not making money consistently in your business, or if your business isn't at a level where you want it to be, I'm going to hazard at a guess that you are not signing clients consistently. You're not making sales consistently. And in order to make sales consistently, you have to be visible to your people. Now, when we talk about visibility, I know what comes to your head. You're like, oh my gosh, what if I get judged? Or what if people laugh at me? Or what if people say no? Those are very valid reasons, okay? But here's what I have discovered that the people you are here to serve, they don't really care about your appearance or how you present. All they really care about is if you can truly help them. Now, I say this from experience, okay? When my clients come to me and I tell them to be more visible, because nobody will sign up for your services if they cannot see you in the first place. And so when I tell them to be more visible, they tell me, oh, I'm not ready yet. I think I need an additional certification. Or they say, I need to lose 25 pounds, right? So our brains come up with all of these excuses just to avoid the action of closing a sale. Or maybe you go on a sales conversation and you flop the conversation. You don't lead the conversation with effective leadership, and then you lose the sale because your brain got in the way with all of this self-doubt, all of this self-judgment, and then you end up sabotaging yourself. I see this so many times with my clients. And so I want to encourage you today to tell you that the people you are here to serve, they really don't care about your appearance. They really don't care about whether you have white teeth or not. What they care about is if you can truly help them. And so to attract those clients, you have to show up with conviction. Okay. Many women I meet, they have the passion to help people, but because of all of the limiting beliefs, the imposter syndrome, the procrastination, the self doubt, all of those things hold them back from actually showing up as their true selves. And so I'm going to show you how I have overcome my own limiting beliefs, and I continue to overcome my own limiting beliefs because there is no time that you feel like, oh, I'm done now. I don't struggle with all of those mindset blocks anymore. I don't think we'll ever get to that point because we always constantly keep growing. So I'm going to teach you how to overcome your limiting beliefs, overcome your imposter syndrome so that you show up boldly, you stop allowing your brain to sabotage your effort. Now, it used to be that having a business was a luxury, but where we are at right now we're now almost at December 2025, having a successful business and a business that bring in money consistently is no longer a luxury. I feel like it's a necessity if you want to have financial independence, if you want to have a comfortable retirement in the future. So it is imperative that you overcome your self sabotage so that you show up boldly to close clients, and not just close clients, but to expand your impact on the world. The women in my world, they are heart centered. They started their businesses because they want to serve. So apart from the dollars and cents, if you want to grow your impact in the world, and don't get me wrong, I love money. If you know anything about me, I'm also a money coach. I coach people around money mindset. So I don't want to downplay the need to earn a living. But for the many people I work with, they are so heart centered. They want to make an impact. But here's the thing, if you are not making money consistently in your business, it's just a matter of time. You're going to close down your business. And if you close down your business, then you're not making the impact you alone can make in the world. So, how does imposter syndrome show up? You procrastinate, you think that you need to learn more, you're constantly in learning mode, or you think you need a spanking new website, a sleek website to close clients. Believe me when I tell you this, you do not need a website to close clients. You only need three things. You need a phone, and I think the phone is not mandatory, especially now that we have Zoom. You need internet connection, you need a Zoom account, and you need a way for people to get on your calendar. You also need a way to take payments. Once you have all of those, nothing else matters. Okay. So I want to challenge you. All of the limiting beliefs your brain has come up with, I want to challenge you to say you are enough. You have exactly what it takes to sign clients. In fact, I want to challenge you to sign your next client in the next 24 hours. That's the challenge I give to my clients too. And I have created a blueprint, it's a map, a 24-hour client activation map. Just DM me map and I'll send that to you completely free. My goal is for you to step out of your comfort zone, overcome your limiting beliefs, and go sign the clients that only you can serve. And so I've seen many people try to solve this problem by resolving the symptoms, right? So maybe you have tried 30-day posting challenges, or you have tried Pomodoro technique of overcoming procrastination. All of those techniques are like putting a band-aid on a wound until you solve the root cause of the problem. Even if you do 30-day challenges, you might do it for 10 days and then you go back to your original habits. Okay, so rewiring your brain to attract success, to see success as a good thing, that's the work we need to do. Now, to explain how this works, I want you to understand that there are two parts of our brains. There is a part of our brain I call the survival brain. That's the part of our brain that helps to keep us safe. Its main goal is safety. But that part of our brain works against us when it comes to creating success in our businesses. And so I'm going to tell you about the second part of our brain called the success brain. That's the part of our brain we use to create successful businesses. And so I also, this part of our brain is also called the prefrontal cortex. That is situated at the front of our heads. That is the part of our brains we can use to think about what we are thinking about, and which we can use to enter our next level. So if you want to overcome all of your fears, your imposter syndrome, your procrastination, feeling like you're not enough, feeling like you need additional certification, feeling like you need a better website, feeling like you need to build funnels. All of those excuses that your brain comes up with is just trying to keep you safe. And it's keeping you safe not from a malicious point of view, but because it thinks creating success is a threat to your survival. Okay. So, in order to overcome all of those limiting beliefs and be able to take action from a place of excitement, joy, conviction, because those are the things that actually attract clients to you. When you show up and you're not afraid, you are excited, you are so convicted in your service, in what you have to offer, that's when people sign up. That's when people say, oh, I'm going to work with Kathleen, or I'm going to work with Jane. Okay. So you have to do the work. And like this can happen very fast. Why? Because the human brain is built for speed. The human brain is like a computer. Once your brain is working with you and not against you, the results can happen very fast. So instead of putting a band aid on the problem, I want you to resolve the issues why your brain is trying to keep you safe in the first place. So, I'm going to tell you my signature method. It's called the neural reset action loop. And it goes like this: thought, then emotion, action, evidence, and identity. The reason we have to get to the identity is because your identity informs how you show up. Okay. So if you do not shift your identity and you attempt to put a band-aid on the problem will still stay there until you change your identity. The person who becomes the person who loves sales conversations. So I say that because if you know anything about me, I'm an immigrant. When I came to the UK back then, I couldn't speak English. So all of those imposter syndrome of, oh gosh, nobody's gonna understand my accent, or thinking, oh, I have 25 pounds to lose, and so that means I cannot show up and be more visible. All of those thinking had been running in the background of your mind. And so you need to rewire your brain differently to become a new identity, like to become a new person. That's the work. And so if like, and this is unique to different people, right? So I've given you an example of me, um the limiting beliefs that have been holding me back. Yours might be different. It could be something that was said on the playground when you were in grade 5. Maybe you had mean girl experience at school, right? So the root cause of the reason why you are constantly sabotaging yourself will be different for different people. Okay. And that's the work we need to do. And that's the work I do with my clients. And so I want you to journal and think about this. So I'm going to give you a challenge. I want you to sign your next client in the next 24 hours. Thinking about that, what comes up for you? I want you to journal. If I say, go ahead, sign your next client in the next 24 hours, what obstacles come up in your mind? What excuses come up in your mind? I want you to journal those. And when you can solve for all of those excuses, I bet you are on your way to rewiring your mind so that your mind starts to work with you instead of working against you. I had someone the other day tell me, oh, I keep posting on Facebook and Instagram and nobody is commenting on my post. I want to tell you this. Many of the people that sign up in my program, they have never commented on any of my posts. They don't like like, I'm like, where did you come from? And she says, oh, I've been following you for 2 years. I've been watching all your posts, all your reels. And I'm like, wow, people are just watching. So I want you to know that um, the metrics of how many likes and how many comments you get, that's not what determines whether you have a successful business, because your people are watching you and they are listening. And when the time is right, they're going to reach out and say, oh, now it's the time is right. I'm ready to work with you. So please do not worry about what people will think or what people will say. I read an article, this must have been 6 years ago, and it said that the number one determining factor whether someone comes to your funeral is the weather. So, if the weather is the number one determining factor whether people go for someone's funeral or not, then why do we worry about what people think about us? Right? So, another thing I want to offer is that the people you're meant to serve will consume your content. Any other person that is not your target audience, they're just going to ignore you. Okay? So please do not be afraid to be more visible, because the only time you're going to sign clients is when people know you exist and when people know your service exists. Like, unless they're using some form of telepathy or they have some magical powers, there is no way people would know of the value you have to offer. And so you need to be visible. Now, when I say visible, there are different forms of visibility. And I think where many entrepreneurs struggle is when they force themselves to use a particular strategy if that strategy isn't aligned to them. Okay, so I'm going to give you an example. I have clients who enjoy posting on Instagram and TikTok, and they are crushing it on Instagram and TikTok. I have other clients who have no clue how to use social media, and they are crushing it on podcast, on doing podcast guesting. Another one is crushing it in networking events. Like, she goes on virtual networking events with other women, and that's how she finds her people. Another one actually blogs on Substack. So she has a newsletter. She writes every single day, and that's how she gets people into her world. So I want to encourage you to choose a marketing strategy that is aligned with who you are, that you're not going to struggle with. Because here's the thing, if you want to become fully booked as a coach, as a service based entrepreneur, you have to have a marketing strategy you enjoy, right? Because if you do Instagram post for, let's say, 60 days, and let's say you land 5 clients, right? If you didn't enjoy posting on Instagram and you stopped, then the funnel stops, right? Like the tap goes off. But if you choose a marketing strategy you enjoy, then you can have a steady flow of clients. So I want you to check yourself. Where have you been forcing yourself to show up? Where have you been grinding and hustling and it's not just working for you? There's so many different strategies. There are directories you can list your services on if you don't like social media. Okay. Many of my clients come from my podcast. I've been running my podcast for exactly 2 years now. Now, it didn't start out that way, right? I must have been posting for nearly 9 months, and there was not one single client from my podcast. So I give you all of this to tell you that you can choose a strategy that works for you, so that when you show up with joy, you show up with conviction, you show up with excitement. It's not as if you're grinding in your business. It's not as if you are just doing things because you want to sign a client or make a sale. So that's what I have for you. I want to offer you my 24-hour client activation map. This is my blueprint that tells you exactly what to do to sign your next client in 24 hours. Just comment map or send me a DM with the word map, MAP, and I'll send that to you. If you're done struggling to sign clients, if you're done hustling, if you're done with imposter syndrome, if you're done with self sabotage, you want to show up confidently and boldly, if you want to be, um, I want to say, excited to close sales, if you are done being afraid of sales calls, like I know some people avoid sales conversations, I'm going to help you rewire your brain so that you are not doing things from hustle, you're doing things from alignment. That's the fastest way to success, when your brain is on board and is no longer working against you. If you want to have a chat, it's going to be a 30-minute coffee chat. It's not going to be a sales call. I just want to help you get unstuck. Now, during the coffee chat, if you want my help further, then we can book a discovery call. Okay. But this coffee chat I'm offering is just to help you get unstuck. Because, like I said, all of us have individual limiting beliefs that we are dealing with. I want to help you get unstuck so that you can sign clients over the holidays, right? I am creating a challenge for the women in my community. I want you to sign clients over the holidays, because somehow you've convinced your brain that people don't buy over the holidays. In my business, I make the most sales over the holidays. Okay. So if you're done playing small, if you're done struggling, if you finally want to make your business successful and become fully booked, then book a coffee chat. The link is gonna be in the comments. It's gonna be a 30-minute coffee chat. And I don't advertise my link because I don't want people just booking calls on my calendar. So maybe I'm not gonna put it in the comments, okay? So I'm going to ask you to DM me and say, um, let's use coffee chat, just say coffee chat, and I'll send you the link. Okay, I don't want to publicize my booking link because I don't want every everyone to feel my calendar. I am so intentional about the people I want to help. I hope today's session encourages you to stop playing small. There are people in this world that only you can serve. And I have given you so many examples. I was that person that used to hide. I didn't feel like I had something of value to offer. And now my business is fully booked. I'm opening up group programs, and I want to help you do the same too. All right. Have a fantastic Thanksgiving if you're celebrating in the US. See you again back here soon.